UCLA is a university with unlimited possibilities for students that desire world-class academics and research, unmatched diversity, incredible cultural and social opportunities, successful alumni and career networking, first-class campus facilities, plus America's top intercollegiate sports teams. Located in Westwood, just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean, UCLA's 1 square mile campus is surrounded by famous cities such as Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, and Santa Monica.
Hi everybody, I'm Dave Marcus. Welcome to UCLA Bruin Talk with Courtney Casso. We are going to talk championship season. Water polo and tennis, two of the strongest programs on campus, and the water polo team fresh off a great victory at the conference championships. We'll meet a couple of their stars in just a moment.
But first, let's take a look at our upcoming events for the week.
One of the most successful programs on the Westwood campus has been the women's water polo program. You don't win 5 national championships in a row without attracting some attention. This year, a lot of new faces and a new head coach, Brandon Brooks. The Bruins, on the bubble a week ago, won the MPSF tournament last weekend, and 2 of the big reasons why are sitting with us today, Grace Reynolds and KK Clark. Congratulations, Grace, on an incredible tournament.
Thank you. It was fun. It was so much fun.
We talked about the Bruins being on the bubble. You had a match against Hawaii the first day of the tournament. It was really a match that a lot of people thought could be a loss. It was the 4 against the 5. You were the 5 seed. You particularly had an incredible match. 4 goals in that one, and you kept Hawaii from striking when they had all the advantages. What was the secret of that match?
Before the game, I think we all kind of came together. It was now or never, I guess, and it was the start of either our journey to a national championship or the end of our season. So I think it was us just realizing that we have to come together as a team and do what we have to do.
KK, the road didn't get any easier. The next day you had to play number 1 Stanford. They were 23-1 before the match, and they had defeated you easily earlier in the year. But you took it from them by a goal. How did you guys do that?
I think we just used the momentum that we picked up with the win against Hawaii, and we really just kind of thought to ourselves, like, we really have nothing to lose. We have so much going for us right now, and so we kind of just went into the game with all that we had, and it worked out.
And then, Grace, the next day you had to play SC number 2 on the year. They had beaten you by double digits earlier in the year. And you had to neutralize an Olympian, Cammie Craig, as well as some veteran players for SC, and you won it. You came away with what was the feeling like when you knew you had hung on and won the match?
At first, before the game, I was beyond nervous. I don't know why. Honestly, like KK said, we had nothing to lose. But during the game, we had this great momentum going from the Hawaii game, Stanford game, and then when we were up by 3 goals before the second quarter, it was just an amazing feeling. It was like, in my head, I thought, we have this, we got it. And then the defenders did an awesome job guarding Cammie, and everyone just played so well together, so it was great.
Now going back to pregame, you mentioned you were really nervous. You had nothing to lose, but that's a big game. It's okay to be nervous. How do you guys handle your nerves in those situations?
I feel like I have my teammates talk me down no matter who it is. Even it's just
That family support.
the family support is always there, and it's good knowing that everyone understands what it's like to be in a championship game. And I was just kind of first time experience in one of those big matches, but I felt a lot better as soon as the first whistle blew.
And you came to us from Cal, so you went from a Bear to a Bruin, and you're just kind of along for the ride. You haven't been on the team a full 4 years, so.
No, but I feel like I have been on the team for as long as everyone else. It's just we just get together and we just get along so well, and it's really beautiful, actually.
KK, Grace just talked about the team scoring those 3 quick goals against SC. And again, we mentioned SC had destroyed you a couple of times. When did your team start to believe that you were going to win that game?
I think we started believing after we beat Stanford. Having that roadblock sort of just like demolished, we felt like if we beat Stanford, I mean, they beat USC, and we can, I mean, theoretically, we could beat USC too. So I think we did a pretty good job of learning from like the past games and like moving on from those games and not dwelling on like, oh, we lost by so much. We definitely used practice to get a lot better, and the confidence from practice and the momentum from the games previous to the SC game. And it's a rivalry game. It's always going to be heated no matter what. And so yeah.
Water polo is a sport where an exclusion sends a player off for 20 seconds. 6-on-5 opportunity is a goal about half the time.
Right.
You kept SC and Stanford at 20-25%. What was the and you got a lot of those exclusions. So
Yeah.
maybe I shouldn't be asking you this question. But
Yeah, Grace, we'll go to you.
what was the secret to resisting those outnumbered attacks?
Just knowing that once you're a man down, you can't dwell on the fact that we're down, we could possibly get scored on right now. It's almost like a reminder that you have to play even harder defense for 20 seconds. And so having Caitlin behind everyone, it just felt so good being there, and everyone knew what they had to do, and everyone was trustworthy of each other, and that everyone was in the right places to get the play over.
And you speak of Caitlin, that was goalkeeper Caitlin,
Right.
who was brilliant all
Yeah.
weekend long.
Yeah.
We have practiced our 5-on-6 defense for a long time, and I feel like in the past 2 weeks, since we did lose to SC by such a big number, we had decided to just focus for the next 2 weeks until MPSF to get us going, and I feel like we knew after that loss that we could take it. We were just set on it.
So you're done with the MPSF, you got that title. Now you've got a little less than 2 weeks before NCAA tournament. So where's your focus at now? What's training like? Give us a little clue about what's that like.
Well, the MPSF is it's a great honor to win that. But everyone knows that it doesn't necessarily mean anything in the end. And so we sort of just take it as a big step in the right direction. And so the next couple of weeks we'll just be doing like the same things we've been doing. I mean, nothing has to change significantly, except, I mean, everyone just has to have the right mentality going into the next 2 weeks.
Just keep going. You guys are peaking at the right time,
Yes.
so just keep on that momentum.
We're taking it one day at a time and just improving from the little things, and it is the little things that gets us farthest. So.
Now, Grace, I want to ask you a question. I hope it's not too personal, but I mean, you look like a normal person. Why would you go into the 2-meter? Why would you be a center forward? I mean, you get your head taken off in there. What got you in there in the first place?
I've been playing for a long time. I've always been a 2-meter person. I don't want to say that I'm not I'm going to say I'm not the fastest person out there. So being bigger and stronger in the center just is an advantage, I guess, because I can move with the ball, move more with the ball, and I have the perimeter players to help me on defense, and it's more comfortable than anything. I feel a little awkward outside on the perimeter.
You had 2 goals in the championship match against SC. Describe the feeling.
The first goal was it was a garbage goal. It was Megan Burmeister shot it from up top, and I rebounded it off the post. I saw it go in, and I said to myself, all right, cool, we're good. And then the second one, the girl that was guarding me got kicked out, and I got the ball immediately from Priscilla from outside, and I turned around and I saw the goalie come up real big, and I just said, oh, you have to put this away. And I did, and then I got to sub out, and it was just perfect. Because
Perfect smile.
Yeah.
KK, we talk about speed. You are one of the fastest swimmers on the team. You swim the opening sprint. How important is that to try to get there and give your team that extra possession?
It's important. I have yet to beat Pharrell, the girl, the sprinter for USC.
She went 10 games in a row without losing one.
Yeah, it's been a lot. And so, yeah, it's important. It definitely gives like the first momentum shift of the game, I guess you could say. But at the same time, the team knows that, I mean, the sprint doesn't really, it is an extra possession, but as long as you play good defense on that possession, then it'll be okay.
We talked to Brandon Brooks after the match about your team really growing up and learning to believe. You've got NCAAs, and the top 3 seeds are Stanford, USC, and UCLA. What is the mindset as you approach a rematch potentially with those teams? You know they're not going to take you lightly.
No. I think before this weekend we had a lot less belief in ourselves, and so like you said, after this weekend, just the fact that we have something to believe in and we have the confidence in ourselves that we could do it again, because we didn't play perfectly on any of those games. So just knowing that and having that confidence in ourselves, especially in the postseason, we've always been really good in the postseason. That definitely helps us.
Grace, we mentioned the exclusions. Your team was outnumbered a lot. By trying to avoid that, you can't take the aggressive edge off your play. It was a really aggressive effort.
It was really aggressive. The exclusion ratio was pretty intense, but I think our defense backed it up, and we pretty much dominated on that front. But it was, I think that's something that we can improve on within the next 2 weeks and at the NCAA tournament.
So KK, this is probably more towards you just because you've been here a little bit longer than Grace, but you guys went from Coach Adam Krikorian, who he is a legend here even though he's very young, to Brandon Brooks, who was a player here, former Bruin. So what's it like having Brandon as the head coach, and what kind of coach has he been?
Everyone treats a change a little bit differently, and so it was hard to adjust, but he's growing with us, and so I sort of take this team a little bit more like a family. Like, we all sort of understand each other. We've definitely been like ups and downs, a little dysfunctional here and there, but I don't know, it's good.
Which I'm sure has brought you closer.
Yeah, definitely.
And are you guys close out of the pool and
Yeah,
outside of athletic?
very much
And do you
so.
think that's important?
It definitely is.
Very important. It's probably, I mean, being a family inside the water and outside the water, it's just, it's what helps you grow together, and it's a good thing. It's what we have going for us.
And it probably makes those wins feel really good.
So
Yeah,
good.
and you play for each other because you care about each other. So.
And we should mention Adam Krikorian, the coach of the Olympic team. That's why he's left UCLA's women's program. Brandon Brooks, a former goalkeeper. And I think the perspective of a goalkeeper, they really see the flow of the game. Has he been able to pass along the flow of the game to the position players?
Very much so. I feel he understands. I mean, obviously, from the goal, he sees what's going on, so he understands. He is a great coach when it comes to the different tactics of the outside players, even 2-meter players. He's never probably played 2 meters before, but he understands what he's saying, and since he's been able to see the play, he knows what he's talking about.
Well, he couldn't play 2 meters. He get those mirrored sunglasses knocked off.
Yeah.
You can listen to the archived broadcasts of the MPSF tournament on UCLABruins.com, and the NCAA is coming up. We wish you the best of luck. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And
Thank you.
good luck in the future.
Awesome.
And we'll be right back with more UCLA Bruin talk after this brief public service announcement.
A trophy can be made just about anywhere. But there's one place where champions are made. UCLA, champions meet here.
And welcome back to UCLA Bruin Talk. Before we get to our next guest, we have our Athlete of the Week, Andrea Harrison from the UCLA women's softball team. This week, we honor Andrea Harrison of the UCLA softball team as our Student Athlete of the Week. For the second consecutive game, the sophomore hit 2 home runs. Her scoring efforts helped the number 5 UCLA Bruins to complete a 3-game sweep of Oregon with a 10-2, 6-inning Mercy Rule victory this weekend. Both of her hits were 2-run shots, which brought her to tie for the team lead in home runs. In the same weekend series, Andrea also tied her own career highs with 3 hits, 4 RBIs, and 2 home runs in 1 game. Her efforts bring the Bruins to an overall record of 36-9 and an in-conference posting of 10-5. The Bruins now look to bring their season in league competition to a close with games against California and Arizona. Congratulations, Andrea, and good luck to the rest of the UCLA softball team. For additional information on UCLA athletics and the UCLA women's softball team, visit our website at www.uclabruins.com.
We mentioned at the start of the show that it's tournament time and all of the spring sports are winding into their championship seasons. One of the teams that gets to host their regional is women's tennis, and we're thrilled to be joined by the head coach, Stella Sampras Webster. Welcome to Bruin Talk.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You are in your 14th year as a head coach at UCLA. Can you believe that?
I can. I really can. It's been a great ride. I'm so fortunate to be here, and it's a great job, and just love being at UCLA. And yeah, 14 years is a lot, and want to keep going on.
We talked about the NCAA tournament coming to Westwood. There are 16 first-round sites,
Right.
4 teams each, and 1 team advances to go to the national tournament in Georgia.
Right.
Tell us about your prospects coming into the weekend.
We just found out our draw, and we play Army first round, and then should we continue, then we'd probably play Arizona State. And we play them already this year, Pac-10 team. We beat them pretty good during the season, but they're still a very strong team, and we've got to play well to beat them. And then to get to Athens, Georgia with the Sweet 16 is just always exciting. The atmosphere there is just like nothing else. And so we're excited to just, take one match at a time and then get that opportunity to go to Athens and keep that going.
Well, first round match, Army, they've got a lot of weapons. Sorry, couldn't resist. When you look at the tournament and you look at playing a couple rounds here, you can't overlook the first round opponent.
Right. We have to prepare for that first match because those are the scary ones. You never want to overlook that, and you want to take one match at a time, and that's what we're going to, tell our players and prepare them for.
And UCLA, we are hosting the first round, so is that an advantage, disadvantage? How do you feel about that?
I definitely think it's an advantage. I mean, we get to play at our home courts, our surroundings are the same, we practice there, so it's a huge advantage to be able to stay at home, and players, they can go to class, they can, stay in their beds, sleep in their beds, and be able to stay at home is a huge advantage. So we're really excited for that, and to be able to play at home for the first 2 rounds is just, nice to have our fans be able to watch that.
As the draw worked out, the men are also hosting their regional. Is it nice to have the support of your male colleagues as you go into tournament play?
Yeah, no, it's always fun to watch the boys play and to support them. Our teams are very close. So the girls support the boys support the girls, which makes it really fun and exciting. And to be both at home, have their fans get to watch both teams is, can't ask for anything more.
You had some players who sat out the recent Ojai tournament, getting some rest in. You only have 12 on the squad. Tell us about the health of your team as you go into the tournament.
Right now, I mean, we're pretty healthy. We have maybe one player has a little shin splints, but other than that, everyone's in pretty good shape. Our conditioning coach, Jacqueline, does a great job in really preparing our team and building a foundation for the season. So right now, knock on wood, we're pretty healthy. We're just working really hard this week, and we'll taper down next week before the regionals. But if we make it to Athens, Georgia, we're going to be hit with some humidity, and the fittest team is the team that does the best. So we've been working our players really hard, and so we're hoping that we can stay healthy and be at our best next weekend.
We were talking earlier before the show, the time length that you have is a little bit longer this time between Pac-10s and when you start NCAA. I think you have about 3 weeks.
Right.
So how does that change your pre-tournament training and your focus, and how do you keep them ready because you have no competition during that time?
Right, it's challenging, and that's what my staff, we've been trying to do, is just kind of put together some, some blue and gold matches. They play against each other just to keep them, match ready, and just kind of keeping them motivated, because it can get long, practicing every day with their team, and they're just so ready to play and want to start. So we've been trying to be creative and keeping it exciting, and but at the same time just really working hard, because we could definitely use the time to get them prepared and get them in the best shape possible. So it is more challenging having that extra week, whereas years past we've only had 2 weeks, and but I think we've been doing a good job. They've responded well.
College tennis is, of course, a team event, but there are also individual accolades. Tell us about Yasmin Schnack and how she did at the Pac-10s.
Yeah, she did unbelievable, and she's a senior this year, and she won Pac-10 Player of the Year in singles and in doubles, and she won the tournament in singles and doubles, which was 2 weeks ago, and she just did an amazing job. And for her to finish her career having those wins and winning those championships, is just, I'm just so proud of her, and for her to go into NCAA's knowing that she is the best, she can play with the best, and so I think that's definitely helped her confidence, and she's just been unbelievable for us, and she's going to be missed because she's a great player and just a great person.
How does the fact that there is an individual championship impact on the team goals as you head into the postseason?
It is interesting because they always talk about getting rid of the individual championships, but they continue to have it. And it is important. It is an individual sport. And so, for some schools that may not make the team championship, they may have some individuals that make the individual championship. So it's great for them. But once you get into Athens and you play the team championship, the individual championship doesn't mean as much. And it's really interesting because it's nothing like playing on a team with your teammates that you work so hard with, and to be able to have that chance to win that team championship is just extra special. And if those that are out, then have that individual championship that they can play in. So.
Absolutely. You mentioned the team is going to have to be really fit, and you mentioned their strength and conditioning. How important for all the people that think you just practice tennis only, when you do, the girls do a lot of conditioning outside of being off the court. How important is that aspect of their game?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, they meet with our strength and conditioning coach in the fall 5 days a week, and then during the season it's 3 days. And so they do a lot of off-court conditioning, which is, again, it's prevention, it's strengthening, it's maintenance. So we definitely, it's an important part of our program.
Going back to Pac-10 where you guys swept, which was so amazing, tell me about coaching 2 players individually playing each other. How did you coach that?
We don't. Yeah, it is interesting, and it's fun for the coaches because we don't have to coach. I mean, we get to really enjoy and observe the match and hope that they come off the court shaking their hands and still friends. It's great to see them. We had 2 players, Carlene Seguso and Nina Pantic, who made it to the finals of the Invitational Pac-10, and Nina won that. But it was great for our Bruins to get to the finals. And then we won the Invitational doubles final, which is just unheard of a team to win all 4 events. It's the first time ever, and we're just really proud of our players and how we were represented in Ojai for the Pac-10s.
Ojai is a pretty magical place, isn't it, for college tennis?
Yeah.
Tell us about what makes it so special.
Well, it's just a lot of history. I mean, it's like the oldest tournament, the biggest tournament in the country. So it goes back to Tracy Austin, Billie Jean King. I think it's 100-something years that it's been going on. And it's a special place. I mean, they make it real special. They serve tea and cookies and fresh orange juice, and it has like a Wimbledon kind of feeling to it, and it's just very intimate. So everyone enjoys going back to Ojai, and there's great tennis, and the community just supports it so well, and so it's a real nice feel, you know, because everyone's volunteering and the people are just so nice.
We mentioned that it's your 14th year here at UCLA as the coach. You were a student athlete first. I'm sure you had coaches telling you things that probably went right through your head. How do you keep that in mind as you talk to your young student athletes?
Well, I definitely understand. I mean, you really don't realize how much of an impact a coach or a school or professor has until later on, like 5 years down the road. So I understand that, but I do stress to the players that, you know, God, this is a time to really, you know, have no regrets and gosh, take advantage of everything that you have here, because once it's gone, it's, you know, you're out in the real world and you're not going to have this kind of support anywhere and any time in your life. So I just try to keep stressing that and you know, and that I do understand, I've been there, and just to realize what you have now and not take it for granted.
Tell us about your mentors who made the biggest impact.
Well, Bill Zyma, who is now my volunteer coach, was the head coach, and he recruited me, and he was a huge impact. I mean, he was someone who supported me, you know, through highs and lows, and I really learned a lot from him as a coach, and to have him now as a volunteer coach is so lucky to have. But he helped me a lot, and my teammates, I mean, I had such support from my teammates, the administrators, you know, my academic counselor, people like that, you know, that you do take for granted. I mean, were there for me and really supported me, and, you know, I appreciate that so much.
You talk about the support services that are here at UCLA, which brings me to my next question. We're in the spring quarter, and these girls are in a very important part of their season and their academic season as well. So how are they balancing the two, and how's that going?
It is a challenging quarter because we could be gone for almost 2 weeks. And, you know, again, I've told my players, you know, prepare now, because we don't want to get to Athens and have to, you know, write a paper or, you know, have to, you know, cram for a midterm. So it's hopefully, you know, them preparing. And then when they do, although when they do come back from NCAAs, they do have like 2 to 3 weeks of just being a student, and they can catch up and get ready for finals. But it's all about preparation, you know, letting the professors know they're going to be gone. If they have to take a midterm on the road, we can do that. But
it almost forces them to be more responsible, because they have to take care of it beforehand.
Right, and their time management.
Yeah.
I mean, they really need to manage their time. And we've found that they do better, you know, during our season academically than they do in the fall, where they do have more time, because they know they don't have that time available that they would.
And we don't have any time available either, unfortunately, but you can follow Stella Sampras Webster's team on UCLABruins.com. Coach, best of luck in the postseason.
Thank you so much.
That's going to do it for this edition of UCLA Bruin Talk. Glad to have you with us. We'll see you again next time. For Courtney Casso, I'm Dave Marcus. So long.